I decided to try to comfort Natsuki first. I approached the door of Yuri and Sayori's room where Natsuki was. Yuri told me that she would keep her company to try and reassure her. I knocked on the door softly and heard Yuri's voice. "Come in!" Whoa, this is bright. Damn, like, y'all, I'm not even kidding. It is 9:30 at night right now. I have all the lights off in my room. Entering, I found myself in a horrible predicament. Whatever I chose, one of them would think I hated her or something. As I approached, I saw Yuri sitting on the edge of the bed where Natsuki was, lying, facing the wall. I sat down on the other bed, and after a few seconds of silence, I began to speak. Shit, should we have gone for Sayori first? Because Yuri is with Natsuki. I mean, like, Natsuki's already got, like, a buddy in here. So I don't know how I feel about that. I'm sorry, Natsuki. I was a jerk. And if you can't forgive me, I'll understand. We fell in another prolonged silence. Finally, Natsuki answered between sobs. "Skibidi toilet! What hurts me is not that you didn't go to my funeral. What hurts me is that you kept it from me." See, I'm in the zone. Natsuki, I wasn't in any condition to go anywhere. And going to your funeral would have only caused me to commit YouTubing a couple of days earlier out of grief. Being at your funeral would have been an image I could never get out of my head. Seeing your body dead because I wasn't fast enough to have been the equivalent... What? Wait, I think I fucked that up. I'm sorry. Seeing your dead body because I wasn't fast enough would have been the equivalent of having a rusty spear thrust through my back. I definitely didn't read that right the first time. Even if I hadn't YouTubed myself, I would have lived a horrible life. Even to this day, the image of your body, damn, hanging from your bedroom ceiling with your favorite manga on the floor, broken, is something that will echo in my mind forever. It makes me unable to sleep, and when I do, I'm constantly awakened by the nightmares. You committed YouTube because of me, and Sayori was about to... But she was lucky, because I arrived in time. But with you, I didn't have that fortune. Natsuki didn't answer. Yuri placed her hand on the pink head's waist and added to my explanation. And that's interesting. That's an interesting bit of lore right there, because that means... the original game also takes place in this universe as well, technically, because he talked about Sayori almost YouTubing herself. Natsuki, there are things you didn't live. What the fuck does that mean? Natsuki, there are things you didn't live? There are things you didn't live? There are things you didn't live, in case that's how you say that. What the fuck? Sayori, Monica, and I visited Skibidi Toilet right after your funeral. And the person we met was not Skibidi Toilet. He was Toilet Skibidi. No, I'm sorry. He was an empty shell. A man with no feelings, no color, and a monotonous voice. Sitting on his bed for hours, staring at the desk where a copy of Parfait Girls was. He stared at it day and night because it was the only thing he had left of you. The only glimpse of your existence in this world was a manga, and thousands of people have copies like that. The only memory Skibidi Toilet had was something that many people have. It was so sad to think about that. I don't know how he endured so many days without, well, leaving. Please, leave me alone. Damn, fuck you too then, golly! Is Yuri becoming the most relatable person right now? Like, what the fuck? And here I was saying that I was gonna kill her later on. I don't think we can do that now. She seems to be the only motherfucker with some logic. Also, what happened to Monica? Is Monica here with us? Oh my god! Okay, not only did that just scare me, but now we know where Monica is. I thought that was a fucking shadow in my room. I turned around. Mind you, I am alone in my house. No, I thought that was a fucking shadow. Okay, I'm sorry. I got really scared there for a second. Holy shit. I don't even think I read that. Wait. I gotta go back history. Oh my god, where is it? Wait a minute, was that, on the way out, we saw we found Monica waiting. It's kind of like cut off there, that's stupid. Wait a minute, what was that shadow? It doesn't belong to either of us. Well, I'm going to the smoking room. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow! Oh, so wait, was the shadow Monica? Oh shit, was this Sayori? Wait. What if Sayori just jumped off the roof? Holy shit. When they left, I decided to follow the shadow. Oh, fuck, it's gonna be Sayori, isn't it? Walking at a brisk pace, I reached the end of the corridor and again saw the shadow cross a corner. I quickened my steps and finally ended up coming to a half-open door. It was obvious that whatever it was, it had gone that way. As I walked through, I saw some emergency stairs. I heard footsteps going up and I followed them. It was a flight of stairs like in those apartment blocks. When I reached the top, I saw another door leading to the outside. When I opened it, I saw that it had taken me to the roof of the hotel. I looked around and there was almost nothing but a hut where they must keep a generator or something. Smoke extractors, vents, but one human silhouette stood out. It was standing on the edge of the ground, leaning over the abyss. From afar in the dim moonlight, I could see a few drops of water beginning to fall. Suddenly, a heavy rain began to fall, making it impossible for me to clearly see who it was. I tried to speak, but with the noise of the rain, I could hardly hear. I approached to find out for sure. It's gonna be Sayori. Sayori, what are you doing here? There was no answer. Come down from there, you might fall. Suddenly, she turned around and answered me. She was shouting in an incredibly intense way. This is what I want, Skibbity Toilet! What are you saying, Sayori? Don't start that again. Get down from there and come with me. No, Skibbity Toilet, this is what I want. I approached slowly so she wouldn't get scared. Oh shit, she's shaking. I had to be very careful. It was an extremely delicate... How did it get this bad with Sayori, by the way? Literally at no point... Granted, this is a new recording session, so I low-key don't remember what happened, like, 8 minutes ago. But, what happened for her to get this upset? Like, why? Like, her two best friends just came back from the fucking dead. Like, what more do you want? I had to be very careful. It was an extremely delicate situation, and the slightest slip in my words could end very badly. Sayori, calm down. Don't you even think about approaching me. If you come 1 centimeter close, I'll jump. Or inch, for Americans. Okay, calm down. I'm not moving. Sayori, don't do this. You don't have to jump. Oh, is that so? You committed YouTube because of me? And Sayori was about to? Of course I was about to. And if it wasn't for my bad luck that you came along, I would have. You've done a lot of harm, Skibbity Toilet, but even more I've harmed to myself. 10 years, Skibbity Toilet. 10 fucking years. 10 fucking years thinking that you hated me, that everyone hated me, and I didn't understand why you wanted to be with someone like me. I am a despicable human being, and damn, and death is the only way out of my pain. 10 years, Skibbity Toilet. Do you know what it's like to be depressed for 10 years thinking that you're just a burden to the people who know you? Do you know what it's like to feel that your existence has no value in the world, and that if you hadn't been born, nothing would have changed? Whoa, she's getting deep. Every word that came out of her mouth broke my soul. They were like sharp daggers piercing my flesh. I could barely respond. Yeah, what would I say in this situation? Alright, look. If I was in Skibbity Toilet's shoes, I'd be like, shit, Sayori, I'm so sorry that you're feeling this way. Maybe... The isn't a part of it. I wouldn't say that out loud. Maybe we should head back inside and we can talk about it. Like friends. Sayori, you were never a burden to me or anyone else. If it weren't for your enthusiasm, I would still be a lonely person who never leaves home. Without your friendship, I wouldn't be able to trust anyone. Without your crazy head, I wouldn't have joined the literature club. Without you, I wouldn't have met Natsuki or Yuri or Monica, and I can never thank you enough for everything that you've done. You're lying! I'm nothing but a burden, and if I wasn't around, you'd all be happier. Oh, shit. If my shitty life is based on making others happy because I'm not capable of being happy myself, but my existence prevents them from being happy, what's the point of existing? I just approached her and gently extended my hand. Sayori, let's get out of here. You don't deserve this mental torture. Yes, I do. What I don't deserve is your friendship. I love you. Suddenly said, oh. Sayori let go of my hand and threw herself backwards into the void? Did she just fucking die? No way. No way. I can only watch as her... Nah, this is a nightmare. This isn't happening. I can only watch as her body fell towards its end. Unstoppable tears welled up in my eyes and fell until they reached Sayori. On my knees in the rain, I screamed until the cloudy sky above me split. Oh! What is happening? Oh shit, what is happening? What is happening? What the fuck? Oh my god, nah, why is this getting scary? What are we doing here, game? Oh, nah, I don't like this. Fuck, I'm gonna get jump scared. Oh, I'm not ready. Oh. What's happening? What's happening? Oh, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. La 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 la, I can't. Oh. What is happening? Did we just fucking die too? What the fuck? What did I do wrong? Welcome back, Mr. Skibbity Toilet. I looked around again and everything had changed instantly from a white overwhelming emptiness to a strange structure. The circular floor was made of some kind of steel, and surrounding us, the walls of that capsule were made of glass. I looked outward for a moment and saw clouds passing downward as if I was ascending at great speed. It was like some kind of elevator. So did we just die too? What? What just happened? I looked in the direction of the voice and saw Dan again. Dan, where are we? Well, limbo. I just now realized my Dan voice is very close to Yuri's. Well, limbo. Don't you remember this place? Yes, but I didn't remember it like this. Why am I here? Well, technically not am I, but are we? Me and who else? That doesn't matter right now, actually. I only brought you here because I wanted to appear on Earth at your side. But some people were climbing on that roof. We can talk quietly here. What? The thing is, I called to remind you of something. I don't know if you've forgotten it, but just in case, I'll refresh your memory. I told you that you only had 3 chances to catch your killer. In case you didn't notice, that implies that you have to be very sure that the person you are going to kill is the guilty one. You had 3 Oh my god, no! So Sayori actually just died. We just fucked up, and you just wasted one. What? We haven't killed anyone. I disagree. Sayori's death was murder. Sometimes humans are amazing. They deceive even your loved ones in order to betray them and come out on top. Don't mention Sayori's name again. Okay, wait. Oh shit, there's no I can't look back! I can't go back! Okay, well, alright, we're just here then. No, Mr. Skibbity Toilet. Sayori did not commit YouTube. She clearly... Okay, I'm going to assume that it says clearly. She clearly didn't. And you don't need to fool yourself because you're not fooling me. How else would you have come up with such a well-laid plan? You knew about Sayori's depression and suspected that she was your tormentor, so you took advantage of it to make her feel even worse. You have been ignoring her since your return to Earth. You've put Sayori aside, focusing on Natsuki. And it's all led to what she thought was a YouTube, but it's really a murder. You didn't kill her, but you caused her death. Damn, wow, no. And for all this, I applaud you. Even I couldn't have thought of a better way to finish off your prey. Fuck, but that wasn't my intention, Dan! But as I said a moment ago, you were wrong, so you only have 2 chances left. I fell slumped to the ground, impacting the cold steel with my knees. My tears were strange. It wasn't water, it was blood. On top of that, I'd become mute. My ineptitude and lack of emotional intelligence had brought about the death of my best friend, in a plan so brilliantly executed it seemed deliberate. But I hadn't meant to. How could I have wanted to end Sayori's life when I hadn't even considered that she might cause our death? Between sobs, I managed to retort his words. I didn't mean to... I didn't want to kill her. But now she's dead because of me? Dan was still standing with his hands behind his back. He seemed unaffected by my situation. He kept his composure and had blamed me without batting an eyelid. He calmly wiped the blood from my face with a white handkerchief. Dan, tell me, Mr. Skibbity Toilet. Trust me, I didn't want this. I trust you. People who cry blood in limbo are shedding sincere tears. He put away his handkerchief and approached the cabin's stained glass windows. He looked outside and spoke again. Don't worry. This death won't count in the scoreboard, let's say. Scoreboard! Scoreboard! Editor, put up that video. That video's so funny. And since you are here, I have to inform you of something. Suddenly the elevator stopped going up. We seem to have reached our destination. The glass doors opened. The glass doors opened, and lifting my eyes from the floor, I looked around. Oh, what I saw was unimaginable. It was a vast ocean. That looks beautiful. There was absolutely nothing to be seen on the horizon, just a huge mass of water without any waves or ocean currents. It was so crystal clear, the water looked like a mirror. Dan looked at me, and with the nod of his head, invited me out of the cockpit. I complied. He was the first to step into the water. He walked as if it were solid ground, and I did the same. He began a wandering path with no apparent destination. I followed in his footsteps. I hadn't intended to bring you here, but it was actually a good idea. You see, Skibbity Toilet, as you know, every action has an opposite and equivalent reaction. If you push a pendulum in one direction, sooner or later it will return following the same path it took, but reverted. Well, you have started that pendulum on its way back. I have no clue what he's talking about. This may be too big-brained for me. Before he finished his sentence, during one of my blinks, a door materialized in front of me. It didn't seem to lead anywhere. It was just a door in the middle of the vast ocean. But now, the pendulum has slowed down, and it's beginning its turn. It is time for you to face what you fear most. When you walk through this door, we won't see each other again for some time. Please come in. I obeyed his request. Oh shit! When I opened the door, I saw a hallway inside. This looks lit. From the outside, it was nothing visible, but inside, a hallway was hidden. I went into it and walked along the corridor for a while, and nothing changed. At the end, a door was glaring, but no matter how much I walked, I could never reach it. Suddenly, I saw something hanging on the left wall. I ran up to it, and when I got there, I realized that it was a small square mirror. I couldn't even see myself because of the damage it had. Nothing seemed to change, so I decided to sit leaning against the wall, facing the mirror, and wait. Well, what the fuck is the point of that? Okay, nah, you gotta keep on looking around. There's gotta be something else in here, Skibbity Toilet. I waited and waited and waited. I'm sorry, I didn't read that in time. Nothing was happening. The minutes passed, and I was getting bored. I decided to stand up and look in the mirror again. I was stunned to see my reflection. It was me, but my mind was telling me that it wasn't me. I was beginning to feel a deep fear, but I was unable to look away from my reflection. When I gathered enough courage, I ran forward without looking back. What is happening? The hallway seemed to generate as I walked down it, and it didn't change at all. Beads of sweat stained on my forehead, and I could only direct my eyes to my impatient feet. I reached the end. It was like a wall like all the others, but it prevented me from continuing. When I turned around to go back, there was no corridor, just another wall. What is happening, bro? What is this? I was locked inside a small black room. The walls that enclosed me began to lighten as if they were dissolving. So, is that a good thing? Like, are we escaping, or like, what happened? Oh, shit. Oh, is that so? You committed YouTube because of me, and Sayori was about to? Of course I was about to. And if it wasn't for my bad luck that you came along, I would have. Oh shit, wait. He sent us back! Oh my god. You've done me a lot of harm, Skibbity Toilet. But even more I've harmed to myself. I did that line so well the first time. Alright, but wait, are we gonna fix it this time? 10 years, Skibbity Toilet, 10 fucking years, blah 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 blah. I already said all this. My name is Sayori, and I'm so sad. Oh, what am I doing back here? That was the line that just happened. Sayori is there, on top of the tank. I'm standing a few feet away from her. Both of us wet from the rain, but because of the tears, she was more soaked than I was. I felt a strong dizziness and an unbearable headache. I didn't know what to answer. I was so shocked that I hadn't heard what she said at all. But I'm not going to waste this second chance. Sayori, please think about what you're going to do. No, Skibbity Toilet. I've never thought about anything this much. I don't want to live anymore. Natsuki hates me for getting in the way of your relationship. Yuri hates me for not being by her side after what she did for me. Monika hates me for forcing her to carry out this plan. And you hate me for everything. I'd bet that you hated me for years, and I'd put my hand on fire that you'd hated me since the very moment you met me. You were a kid playing in the sandbox quietly, and I came up to you just to annoy you. Maybe that's why I've been depressed for years, because I knew that you hated me from the very beginning. Sayori, you have not been dead. You haven't come to think that in the afterlife you might never see your loved ones again? You have not regretted your decision, because it's a deceitful one. YouTube and murder out of spite is liberating at first, a nirvana status that can never be achieved in a lasting way. It is only momentary. As soon as you realize what you have done, you will regret it, and the burden of a poorly made decision will be with you for eternity. It's a very high price for... Okay, I think we're speaking to her. It's a very high price for such a fleeting reward. Sayori was shocked. She lowered her head, looking at the ground, and after a few seconds, she returned her gaze towards the sky and continued speaking. Skibbity Toilet, tell me, what's it like, the afterlife? Horrible. Bullshit. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my short life. A place of peace, where you see things that won't ever be witnessed by any human in the present, past, or future. It's a beautiful world. But if I have to lie so my best friend doesn't do something stupid, so be it. And how do I know you're not fooling me? Sayori, look me in the eye. Have I ever lied to you? Yes, when you told me that you'll always be my best friend. Oh shit. Why did you tell me that if you hate me? For a moment I thought it was going to get better, but it didn't. But I don't blame you. I'm so stupid that I believe the most obvious lies just because I'm hoping they're true. No, Sayori, I never lied to you. We have never lied to you. Everything we have told you since we met you is as true as the sun shines every day. Why am I saying we? Life is a roller coaster, and it's not worth losing everything you've tried just to believe that in the afterlife you'll find happiness. Please, Sayori, believe me. You are my best friend, and I wouldn't get over you leaving because of me. Please don't. Don't do it. Oh, shit. This is like mirroring the first video, like the first chunk of the game, but like we're playing from Monika's perspective and seeing Skibbity Toilet jump. Like that's, wow. Wow, this is kind of wild. Sayori didn't answer. She just got down from the tank and approached me. She came closer little by little and finally wrapped her arms around me as she cried, even more than a moment ago. Her sobs mixed with the noise of rain and caused them to be barely audible. Please forgive me. I knelt down too and hugged her with all my might. She was crying, but the wetness of her tears did not stand out on my shirt. We heard a noise. It was footsteps. Suddenly the rooftop door burst open, and Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika emerged. Natsuki came running towards us and hugged Sayori. Yuri was speechless and just stared at the scene in shock. Monika, very worried, approached Sayori and started asking her 1,000 questions about what had happened. Natsuki and I got out of there and took her to her room. Damn. Now more relaxed, we tried to talk to her. Yo, this is wild. This is a whole different ending, basically. Shit, good job, Dan. Dan came in at the right time. Sayori, what were you going to do? Something really stupid. Well, Sayori, it's all over. You don't have to worry anymore. Now just rest and stop thinking about it, okay? Okay. Girls, you can you can go smoke if you want. And Nasuki, go to the room. I'll be there in a moment, okay? I just want to talk to her alone. They obeyed and left the room. When we were alone, she spoke before I could even gather my thoughts. This is not like she said it would be. Who told you what? It doesn't matter. Yes, it does. I must know exactly what she told you. I'm not going to tell you, Skibbity Toilet. It's private and I don't want you to know. I just spoke without thinking and that's it. Maybe she's speaking to a female version of Dan. Does Dan and feminine Dan fuck? That's the new question. Editor Catfish, I just farted. She's lying. I've known her for as long as I can remember, and whenever she tries to evade the question by all means, even if she knows they're blatant, she's hiding something very important. I don't want to add fuel to the fire, so I'll leave the subject there and find it out on my own. Well, I'll leave you here, rest, and tomorrow we'll take you to a doctor. I want to verify that everything is alright in your mind. Everything is better than ever, Skibbity Toilet. I've never been so sure of anything. Uh-huh. That's not what I mean. Neither do I. Then what are you so sure about? How do I know you're okay? Skibbity Toilet, maybe you know perfectly well when I'm lying, but I've also known you since I was a child, and I know that for you, hiding your true feelings is impossible. I'm not quite sure what she was referring to. I simply left the room confused, trying to find the meaning of that sentence. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck she meant either. Good luck. Oh, when I came out, I saw Monica leaving my room. Why did she have that face? It looked like she had come in for a moment to talk to Nasuki, who was sitting on the edge of her bed. I looked at her, and she looked back at me. Suddenly she lowered it, and I didn't understand why. She frowned and began to speak. Skibbity Toilet, we already know where my father is. And how did he find him? Monica told me that her henchman found out that he works as a teacher at the Tokyo Senior High School. He is a philosophy teacher in the 3rd year of high school. As we are no longer in Osaka and the file didn't specify it, we don't know what he looks like or where he lives. So, what's the plan to reach him? Well, I have no fucking clue. The first thing that comes to my mind is to infiltrate there since they're going to start a new course. But it would be too risky. It would be better to follow him home. The problem is that in 5 years he could have changed, so I think it's better to look for him by infiltrating a course where he is the teacher. That's a good idea. Honey, we're almost there. We're going to be able to live in peace for the rest of our lives, together. And everyone will know that the YouTube lovers didn't die, and that love brought them back to life. I know that, but what if our life is short? What if we make it, but we're destined to live a short time? What good would all of this have done? The answer is simple. What's the point of Japan's efforts in World War II if we ended up surrendering? While it may not have a definitive function, what the fuck does any of this mean? But it made us look like warriors, like fighters, who would give everything for what they want, and it caused the country's economic boom. The same rule applies here. It wouldn't be of use anyway, but when we're gone, everyone will know that, for love, they could literally do anything, even to leave behind our own death and battle for survival. We could go down in history, and we would motivate hundreds of people to go on with their lives and not give up. Is that not enough? I could feel the glow of her sincere, warm, and hopeful smile. She seemed to have completely forgotten that she was angry with me. Oh, this is good. Her pink eyes sparkled in the faint moonlight that streamed through the window across the street, creating a light and shadow set on her face worthy of the most talented film director. In front of me was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life. And that woman looked at me with curious eyes, searching for an answer, but soon realized that sometimes words are not necessary to convey a beautiful message. Then she just let her head fall on my right shoulder, contemplating the raindrops that flowed carelessly on the glass. Cool.